guys, I have a special book for you guys today because this isn't an ordinary book. This book is going to be read to children all across the globe today. So not only you, but people from all the different states are going to be reading this book. So we know it's got to be a good one, right?
Yeah.
Can anyone tell me what this might be about?
Fish.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yeah.
It might be about the koalaman looking at fish.
Yes. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
It might be about a goldfish.
A goldfish. Good. Yes.
I'm raising my hand.
A fish.
I was going to say that.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot about a fish. Why do we think of fish?
Because of the picture of a fish.
Yeah, because of the picture. Okay, so this is called
short.
Not Norman, a goldfish story. So you guys were right.
And there's even short.
It's written by Kelly Bennett and it's illustrated by Noah Jones. Does anyone know what illustrations are?
Yeah. It's an illustration.
I'm getting away from
White
Zachary
Good. Who draws the pictures? Good. So Kelly Bennett wrote the book and Noah Jones drew the pictures. So here we go. Not Norman, a goldfish story. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him.
I can't see.
I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. Here's Norman.
Fish.
I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings. A soft, furry pet to sleep in my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around. This is it, Norman, I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. Can anyone tell me what gunky means?
Yucky.
I saw your hand.
Yucky.
Yucky, right. Can we see gunk in the picture anywhere?
Yeah.
In the
Right
bowl.
here? All that green stuff, right?
I know what the green stuff is.
Yes, what is it?
It's pee and poop.
It's dirt. It's dirty stuff, right? So no one's going to want to fish in a dirty bowl. So when I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. So now his fishbowl's all clean. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe somebody will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog and 7 puppies. Want to swap one of your pups for Norman, I ask? Who's Norman, asks Austin. My goldfish, I said.
Hey, my name is Austin.
Is it? Can anyone see what's happening in the background while he's talking to his friend Austin?
Eating.
Yeah.
The dogs are bothering the fish.
I know. Do you think he knows? No. Uh-oh, look. Here's this illustration we see. Now he sees it and he's running to save the fish. By the time I rescue Norman, half of his water is gone. We know what fish need to live, don't we? What do they need? Water.
Or they would die.
Yes. So he was a close call. Half the water was gone.
Why do we eat fish?
I'm sorry, I tell Norman. When we get to school, I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn at show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, "Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose?" Here's Jenny, looking for a snake. So there's a snake loose in the classroom. It's not good, is it? And if you guys probably can't see here, but here's a little sign that he brought that says Norman, one amazing fish. Why do you think he wrote one amazing fish on there? Can anyone tell me?
He's amazing.
Because he's amazing. Is he trying to get rid of the fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to make the fish look really cool and really interesting, doesn't he? Really amazing.
Oh.
Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No. They're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. But not Norman. He's looking right at me.
Hey,
Thanks for listening, I
I
tell him.
think that I think the guy.
I really want to see this guy.
I want to ask you guys, does anyone know what a tuba is?
Yes.
It's a tube, but not.
Right, it's something that plays instrument. It's right here.
It's not a tuba, it's a tuba.
Tuba, right. Just gonna make
Cousin, that's the fish that. Hey, I found a snake. I did find a snake.
You did.
I found a snake. The other one, and I found a snake.
Oh no. All right, listen up, listen up. We gotta listen. Sit down, please. Sit down, please.
You even.
All right.
You can.
That afternoon, we got to go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and begin to play. Boom, boom, ba, bee. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glug, 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 he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. So who do you think Maestro is?
The teacher.
The teacher, the music teacher.
Oh, I think I found his name. Hey, there is a music teacher here.
Yep. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm gonna keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, scratch. What's that noise? Scratch, screech, scratch. Yikes, there's something in the window. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I spot. Does anyone have a prediction of what it might be? A dog?
Snake.
Norman, a snake?
Or a tree branch.
A tree branch?
A
See what
cat.
it is.
Maybe a tree branch fell in the window.
Norman! He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He gloves and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. You were right.
Good predicting.
Good job. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. Do you think that the little boy might be starting to like Norman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's slowly starting to like Norman.
I just knew that all along.
You did. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. There's all the different animals.
Wow.
No, he has to buy for them.
Mhm.
Do you think he's going to buy another pet, Peyton?
No.
You do? What do you think, Jacob?
No. He got a new bow.
No.
Yeah. All right, listen up. Here's what happens.
No.
When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole wide world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman.
That's correct.
And that's the end.
Hey.
You guys did a good. You guys
Wait,
did
I
a
have a
good.
couple more questions for you guys. So did anyone think at the beginning of the story that Norman was going to turn out to be the little boy's favorite fish?
Yes.
You did?
He didn't change his animal.
No, he didn't. How did the little boy feel about Norman in the beginning of the story?
He didn't want to keep him.
No, he didn't like Norman much.
But
He
now
wanted-
he does.
he wanted a different kind of pet,
He
right?
liked him.
Right, but then Norman went through all these things with the little boy, and he was a friend to the little boy, and so the little boy decided he liked Norman. Now, did you notice that the book never told us his name,
No.
the little boy's name? If you all could guess, what do you think the little boy's name would be?
Norman.
Not Norman, that's the fishy's name, right?
I know what his name is.
what?
His name might be
I want you to see my little finger.
Corbin. Hunter.
Hunter? Maybe? What about you?
James.
James?
Hey, Timothy
Scar.
James.
Scar? Scar?
Hey, James.
Yeah.
James in my name. Timothy James Friedlander. Timothy James. I got
Jake. Okay.
James.
So-
I got
Jake.
So it could have been any of those. We don't even know. I think the author lets us think about it.
Love you, McNeil.
Oh, boys and girls.
Love you, McNeil.
I'm not.
All right, listen up, guys. Listen up.
Oh,
Is it about playtime?
it's a second. 3,
Almost done. Almost done.
2, 1, 0.
All right. I have a little activity. I don't know if we have time. Okay. I brought some papers that are empty fish bowls, and I want you guys.
Actually, no, we don't, because it's quarter till, yeah.
Just give it to them.
You can. Tell them about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Everybody's going to get a piece of paper, and you guys can take this home, and you can draw your own Norman or your own other kind of fish. Make it any color you want. You can name it. And then if maybe you don't want to draw a fish, you could draw a different type of animal. Does that sound good?
I'm gonna draw.
Did you guys like the book?
Yeah.
Good, good.
What do we say?
Thank you. You guys were